Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to another episode of the Cider Drinker. Firstly, apologies if you hear any background noise at the moment. I've got the washing on, but hey, you know, background noise and all that. Anyway, today's cider, well, this is actually the second cider I'm going to be doing today, but obviously it'll be in a different review. And this is going to be, I think, probably one of the most recent cider companies that I've actually reviewed for the channel. I've tried to do a little bit of research for these guys, but it looks like they are so new that they don't have actually a date that they were founded or anything like that. It's thanks to Crafty Nectar, or the guys over at Crafty Nectar, for sending this over to me, along with a lot of other ciders. You can see my unboxing video on Facebook. This is one of 3 ciders that I've got from Pulpt Cider Company, and today I am going to be trying out their Union cider, bold cider for connoisseurs. Yeah, as I said, I tried to have a look on their website. Really well laid out, but it didn't actually say how long they've been going for. I think they are pretty recent, although I could be wrong there. Be interesting to know. I must say, I do like the sort of simplistic design on these bottles, and, well, they actually have a little graph on the side of the bottles there to show what the cider is supposedly going to be like, so let's get some info. What goes in? Apple juice, 99%, sugar, yeast, and sulfites. So yeah, a little bit of sugar is added into this. Some people might not like that, some people won't care. I'm the latter. For the curious drinker, we are a pioneering independent craft cider company, pulping and pressing our apples from selected Somerset cider orchards. We're passionate about the true taste of cider, which is why we don't add anything that doesn't need to be, apart from a little bit of sugar. Our cider speaks for itself. Our curiosity compels us to explore the incredible breadth of apple varieties to produce our finest ciders for you to enjoy. Be curious. This one is 6.4% ABV, and as you can see, comes in 330ml bottles. Any other descriptions will be down below, as usual. So yeah, Union is 70% Davenet apples for a deep, dry, complex flavour, unfiltered and lightly carbonated to round off this big tasting cider. Now, it says 70% Davenet, so what's the other 30%? Doesn't say. But according to the graph, it's going to be very tannic, quite intense, and everything else is sort of subdued. So I'm expecting quite dry, quite tannic notes, but we'll see. There's one way of finding out. That's to get this top off, so there we go. Right. Well, it's definitely, it is definitely smelling dry, but let's get it poured into the glass and just see what I actually do make of it. There we go, let's get it all in. Hey up, I see some sediments, that's always good, obviously unfiltered as it said. So yeah, look at that, look at that. It's been a while since I've had so much sediment in a bottle. I'm really pleased to see that. Very lightly carbonated. That is probably going to dissipate very, very quickly. Lovely, deep amber. Almost looks like an autumnal sort of colour, doesn't it? Looks really, really nice in the glass. Always good to see a bit of unfiltering going on. So, what does it smell like? Oh, wow. That does smell, that smells dry, tart. It actually smells quite boozy. It's only 6.4%, I mean I've had a lot stronger, but that really does, you can smell the alcohol. Oh, sorry, that was my doorbell, I'm gonna ignore that because I don't know who it is. Wow, that is definitely smelling intense. Right, well, let's waste no more time, let's dive in. Here we go. Cheers everyone, and here's to Pulpt Cider Company with their Union cider. Cheers. It tastes fruitier than I expected. Get a second one. Blimey. that is dry. Holy moly, that is a dry cider. Holy moly. But it's very fruity. I wasn't expecting it to be as fruity as it is, but there's some you can almost taste the freshness of the apples in this cider. It's, I would say probably, well, obviously Dabinett apples are going into it, but you can just feel, it's like you've just crunched into a real fresh picked Dabinett apple. The fruitiness and the juiciness of the apple is coming through almost instantly. I'm getting hints of like blackcurrant as well, or like sort of dark fruit notes. As I said, like blackcurrant. It is very bold and intense in its flavours. Quite bitter. Dabinett is known for being quite a bitter apple anyway, but it is definitely bitter. Very tannic on the taste. Yeah, but strangely enough, it has got a slightly light body behind it. It's not full-bodied at all, which I suppose does make it a little bit easier to drink. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a sipper. It's not one that you can just, down, even though it comes in a small bottle. There's some very bold flavours going on in here, and it's definitely one that you're going to have to take your time on. Well, let's get a final taste before our final verdict. Blimey. Oh yeah, this cider really does mean business. Blimey. I can feel the chalkiness, the roughness of the sediment in there. You can just feel every little bit of it, which this is definitely, well, when it says a bold cider for connoisseurs, they are definitely not wrong in that. This cider means business, so I would say it is definitely for the people that, are, I don't want to say proper cider drinkers, because that really subjectifies things, but it's one that if you've not had many ciders before, you're probably going to struggle with this, because the flavours are just so bold and so in your face. But for everyone else, this is definitely one to try out. So, for a final verdict, Pulpt's Union Cider is getting an 8 out of 10. It's got a couple of flavours that I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not a huge fan of massively bitter ciders, which this sort of is, but it is still highly, highly recommended. The flavours in there are so great, so complex as well. And it seems all from a single apple. I mean, that is just, that's fantastic in my book. So, great first impressions from Pulpt Cider Company. And, well, once again, thanks again, Crafty Nectar, for you guys for sending this over to me. Really do appreciate it. So, with that said, that's another episode of The Cider Drinker for you guys. I hope you liked it, and as usual, I will be back with another delicious and tasty cider soon. Until then, I'm trying to hold in the burp, and I'm going to go and finish off this bottle of Pulpt Union Cider. Take care, guys. Until next time.